It is day 3 of Litmas, and look guys, I'm wearing a different hoodie. I'm wearing my Let Me Be Perfectly Queer hoodie. No real reason. It's not to match the theme, although it does fit with the theme of the books that I have chosen. Yes, I chose 2 books, alright? You're lucky I didn't choose more. I chose 2 books and I chose 2 honorable mentions. If you go back and read the comments section on my last video, Jaylee James says that my motto should be that every book I read is the best book. So, you know, it was a struggle just narrowing it down to technically 4, but I'm only going to be really talking about 2, okay? I couldn't not mention the other 2, but like the other 2 that I'm mentioning are they hit me harder. So I love these other 2 books, but the 2 books that I'm talking about it really related to the characters, and you'll see why. So without further ado, let me reveal the books that I've chosen. First up, the first honorable mention that I would like to talk about is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. So I did a review on this. It's not a very good review, but I'll link it up. It's up there, because this is mirrored. I know, it's up there. And you can watch it if you want to, but basically I really like this book because, well, I related a lot to Ari. For some reason, it was weird. And it's such a beautiful coming-of-age story, and the chapters, I can't express how much I love the writing style of this book, because the chapters are so short, and the prose is so simple, and but yet beautiful, and the dialogue is also, some of the chapters are just dialogue, which I think is really cool, because sometimes you don't need a bunch of descriptors. Sometimes they're just talking and all you need is dialogue. So, I didn't mind it. And, you know, I really love that book, and it was one of the first books towards the end of the year. 2018 is kind of separated into 2 parts for me because I graduated this year, so I have, pre-graduation, and then I have, post-graduation 2018. So post-graduation 2018, Aristotle and Dante was really the first book that I, really read in, 3 days. I think it might have been 4, but, less than a week. And I was really proud of myself for that, it was so good that it was easy to do that. So that's the first honorable mention. The second honorable mention goes to, of course, I couldn't have a best book of 2018 and not mention the series, All for the Game. I got this book series for Christmas. I've also done a review of it. It's probably not very good as well, but I'll link it up there in case you want to watch it. It's a really old video. I was still in my pre-graduation apartment, so fun times. But, so, Out for the Game, I didn't necessarily relate to Neil, who's the main character, but I, loved him, and he is my son, and, I have a jersey with his name on it. He's actually my favorite character in All for the Game, probably. Main characters usually aren't my favorite character, but Neil is just such a well-written character that I'm just yes, you are my favorite character. I'm taking you, and now you are my son. So he is just amazing as a main character, and the story of All for the Game, while intense and slightly ridiculous, because it's 5 feet Xe players going up against the Mafia, It's a little ridiculous, but I love it for that, honestly. I love how, like, over the top it can be, and I love how it actually does deal with serious issues. Like, yeah, like, maybe it doesn't handle some issues the best, like medication, maybe. I appreciate it for going as hard as it went. Like, it didn't have to go that hard, but it did. And it, like, handled it really well. So, I don't know, y'all. I really like All for the Game, and I couldn't do a Best Books of 2018 without mentioning it. So, that brings me to my 2 books that are actually on the Best Books tier. They're not honorable mentions. They are the best books that I read in 2018. The first book is Let's Talk About Love. You knew this was coming, okay? I've also done a review for Let's Talk About Love that I will link up here. Let's Talk About Love is a phenomenal book with phenomenal asexual representation. The representation alone makes this book worth reading. Like, you don't see asexuals and media get loving, happy endings with relationships. Like, that just doesn't happen. I've said that before, but, like, it does not happen. And as someone who wants a romantic relationship and is clearly asexual, it was nice to see somebody who, like, ended up in a relation, a healthy relationship. So, in the beginning of the book, this isn't a spoiler because it's literally written in the blurb, she gets broken up with by her girlfriend, and her girlfriend says, like, my worst nightmare, and I'm going to read it for you because I took a snapshot of it and saved it. So her girlfriend says, and I can't be with someone who doesn't desire me. You could never love me as much as I would love you. You understand that, don't you? When I read that, I was just like, oh my god. This is, like, my worst fear about going into a relationship. And then the character didn't handle it very well, as I would not handle it very well. And I was like, yeah, okay. This is how I would handle things. She probably handled it a bit better than I would have, to be honest. So, yeah. That line, like, really hit home for me, and I was just like, wow. But she ends up getting a happy ending. The book ends very happily. It's not a sad book. I'm so glad it wasn't a sad book that was just, you know, an ace character not being able to find love because they were ace or something like that. Like, I'm so glad it was about this ace character who, like, finds herself falling for somebody and, like, tries to make the relationship work with this person. And, like, it was great. And just, I saw myself in Alice so much because the asexual representation was just that good. Like, there were so many lines where I was like, oh my god, that's so me. Like, the author, Claire Kahn, I don't know if she's asexual or not, but if she isn't, she really captured what it's like to be asexual. Like, I don't know how she did it, but she did it very well. And same goes for the next book on the list. The next book on the list is Not Your Villain by C.B. Lee. So I chose Not Your Villain because of the amazing trans rep that it has. You guys know I love me some queer rep in my books, so yeah. By the way, in case you didn't know, my 2 honorable mentions also have queer rep in them. I just wasn't as specific about it because I didn't relate to it as much. But even though in Not Your Villain, Bells is actually a trans guy, I'm agender, but I leaned more towards the trans masculine side of things, so I did find myself relating to him a lot. And there were just a bunch of, like, whenever a binder was brought up, I was just like, yes! normalize binding. Like, this is an accurate representation of what it's like to, like, have to bind for yourself. And, like, it was just, there were cute moments where it was like, oh, I forgot to do laundry, none of my binders are clean, and, like, there were just moments like that. And then there were fabulous moments where his dad offers to help him with his tee shots, and he's like, no, I got it, and, like, is real determined to do it by himself. And it's just, the book itself is not about Bells being trans. Like, it's about him and the Sidekick Squad. It's not about him being trans, like Let's Talk About Love is actually about Alice being ace. But it's still such good representation, and I don't know how C.B. Lee managed to do it. She managed to, like, capture what it's like to be trans, despite not being trans herself. And I'm just like, good for you. Like, I gotta give you a shout out for that. Like, you're just... C.B. Lee is quickly becoming one of my favorite authors. I asked for 7 Tears at High Tide, which is another book she has out, and I can't wait to read that. I hope I get it for Christmas. And if I don't, I'm buying it myself with my Christmas money. So, yeah, the trans rep in Not Your Villain is just so fucking quality. And the story itself is, like, so original and fucking quality that I just can't help but love it so much. I love the Sidekick Squad. If you haven't read the Sidekick Squad, you are missing out. I didn't mention this in Let's Talk About Love because I forgot, but both of these characters, both of the main characters in these 2 books are black. Like, Alice is black and Let's Talk About Love, and Bells is black and Not Your Villain. So, like, it wasn't just, like, queer rep, it was also, like, POC rep in these books, too, which I was like, yes, give it to me. Give me all of the representation. I'm a slut for representation, y'all. So anyway, to recap, my 2 honorable mentions were All for the Game and Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. And my 2 best books of the year were Let's Talk About Love and Not Your Villain. And yeah, if you've made it to the end of the video, I congratulate you, because this was a long-winded video because I have a lot of thoughts and I'm rambly and I can't get over how much I love the books that I've mentioned. So I hope you enjoyed this Litmas video, and I will catch you guys in the next one.